hard to hide. It is hard to hide. I mean, they do a great job, special effects, visual effects, makeup, plastic surgery, all sorts of things that they do, folks. I've witnessed the processes of these things, and it is quite miraculous how much work goes into making people look good in general. So can you imagine the amount of work it takes to make, Michael Mandingo Obama look like Michelle? The amount of waxing that must go on in all sorts and parts and places. My goodness.
Yeah,
So
that's a toughie, right? Well, they never did really do it, did they?
no,
That was a that was a failure.
that was epic fail. Many over and over again.
Yeah. But yeah, so but they literally torture them. If they get them, like I'm thinking somebody like Joan Crawford or Grace Kelly, or I'm thinking they all came from these elite families, these satanic families, and this is what they'd aspire to be after being tortured and programmed and everything their whole lives. But they torture the little boys and make them act like girls all the time at a very, very young age. And when they say they want to trans kids right now, that's what they went through. That's what
Yeah.
they are. They are these inverted beings, and they were tortured as little boys to not sit like a little boy, not, you know. And when you think about it, those pageant kids, I just wonder how many of those are actually little boys, little MK Ultra boys.
I'm sure it's a whole program, to be honest with you. I believe that a lot of these pageants, and even, I'm going to say it, a lot of sports, a lot of gymnastics, and I'm not saying all gymnasts, all sports, all athletes, I'm not saying that, folks, but they've been infiltrated by the agency. The three-letter agency has infiltrated every part of entertainment, because when you look at entertainment, it's not just acting and singing, it's sports, it's whatever is on your program television, talk shows, sports, animal shows, cooking shows, chefs. I mean, all of these things have been infiltrated. The infrastructure of our country, POTUS used that word a lot, the infrastructure. We need to rebuild our infrastructure because it's been infiltrated. And these inversions are being developed and inserted into every aspect of our society, our infrastructure, our entertainment, because they want to make us accept this as the normal, which it is not normal. And I'm not saying normal in a good or bad way. It is not by God's grace. It is not natural. It is not natural. It is not natural for us to, expose our children in kindergarten or younger to a trans. I don't even want to use these words trans, because these are so far beyond the trans agenda. I mean, this is the Baphomet agenda. Okay.
Well, that's how they usher it in.
Right. And they're using, unfortunately, the LGBT crowd as an excuse. And, this is all wrong, because
all wrong.
What's underlying it is not LGBT. It's not a alternative anything. It is this Luciferian, devil worshiping, Baphomet creature worshiping bunch of criminal worldwide organization that involves so many aspects of our infrastructure. And we need to realize and recognize that.
Yeah, and that Baphomet thing, that represents them, because it is unnatural, just like what you were talking about. It goes, they get involved in inverting us, because they want to make a world that they can live in.
Yes.
And so they, that's why they worship that goat god, because it's completely unnatural. It's inorganic. I feel like it's some kind of
it's created
grand attempt at creation that these things have made, and it represents all of their genes all of their gene mingling, and all of their bastardization and chimeras, and putting monkeys with goats, and all of this stuff, mixing humans and inbreeding things. That this is the culmination, this is the god of their, all of their jerry rigging of everybody else's,
True.
and of all God's creations, and taking and putting their thing together, and each thing I think represents something to them, and it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It's so ugly. So of course it looks like it's something they like, but this worshiping of this defiling God's work, or the natural order of things, inverting it, twisting it up, making it this ugly thing. They only, I think, are beautiful, I guess, if you would say that. They make themselves physically attractive to manipulate us, They don't appreciate any kind of beauty or anything, they I think really were working towards a time, don't you, where they could just peel off all this crap and be themselves.
I believe that time could have possibly happened, but there's been intervention from the good guy side, because watching your videos, your audience should know by now the morphing teeth and the eyes, the reptilian eye shifting, but it doesn't end there, folks. I forget what that movie was again, where the guy's like the old 80s movie where they live, and he sees what they really look like underneath, and it's a very old low tech movie, but put it to today's world and to the reality that we're facing right now. I mean, like you said, they've got this skin suit on,
Yeah.
they're not really what they seem to be. It doesn't stop with just the teeth and the eyes, folks. There's a lot more that goes with that is so hard to accept, because we've been so conditioned to think that we're the only ones in the universe. I mean,
and we've never seen it.
Yeah, and we've never seen it. It's been hidden from us in plain sight.
Yeah. And that if you go to Central Intelligence Agency on YouTube, I think his channel is still up. And I'll send you some links. Because I'm always showing his stuff. He's very knowledgeable as well. Things that you would not think were occult symbolism. He knows the whole history behind it. And suddenly you begin to realize you live in a world of occult symbols, and you don't even know it. You're just walking past these things thinking, oh, that's cool, or that's cool. No, it's not cool. It's not cool at all.
Yep.
So yeah. This inversion thing, we were talking about some stuff here. But I don't think they're afraid of that. Do you?
Who's afraid of that?
The Hollywood finding out that they're inverted like that.
I believe that they're afraid of us finding out the truth, because it's going to blow their cover. I don't think they want us to know, but I don't think they can stop what is coming. I don't think they can stop the snowball of truth. I mean, look, it's going to take some time for people to accept this.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to accept and get past your ego that you have been fooled. You've been lied to. We've been lied to. Everything, what you were saying last time, everything we've been taught is a lie. Yeah, so you've got to wipe your knowledge clean, what you think you know, and start learning all over again like you're a child. Use your judgment and your discernment, but you have to keep your mind open to possibilities that you didn't think were possible in order to evolve and adapt to the information that is inevitably coming to you. It is coming to you. Whether you want to close your eyes, ears, and just not talk about it, that's your choice. The choice to know will be yours, but only the truth is going to set you free. So you can choose to live in lies and captivity of your own mind, or you can choose to accept this knowledge.
and the kids, I think that's, I don't know, this is going to be like dumping so much surreal stuff on these people because
Yeah.
first of all, you've got the kids, and that's got to come out.
It has to, Linda.
Yeah. But then you're going to find out, or they're going to find out that these people aren't the gender that they grew up their whole life thinking that it's not just one or two people.
No, it's quite a few. I
Yes.
mean, it's a majority of entertainment. Let's just put it that way. A majority of top level entertainment is in fact inverted, folks. It is a fact. It is not a theory. It is not a conspiracy theory. It is actually knowledge. And there's people that have been offed for talking about this. Stylists, doctors, people that saw the nub, people that had to work on these creatures.
Yeah.
And I'm personally aware of people that were afraid for their life because they knew. So that should tell you something.
Well, think about it. They've built multi-million dollar, trillion dollar businesses, billion dollars, trillion dollars. I don't know how much money did Cary Grant make, or does he still make as a sex symbol? How much money do Marilyn Monroe's movies still make as a sex symbol? Well, take Marilyn Monroe and multiply her times who knows. And suddenly you've lost a money flow that is in the millions and billions of dollars. I mean, billions of dollars. I mean, probably trillions of dollars when you're talking about films.
Mm-hmm.
And how much they spend to make a film around a person. That's another thing.
Yeah.
These people are not winning awards for their roles in these movies. They're basically doing what we did as kids, running around playing games. And but what they're winning the roles for is convincing the world that they are the gender that they are.
Yes.
And you get these, who is it, Esquire, the best looking man in the world or something? They do the handsomest man. You want to look back at all of those and see if you don't notice something about them.
I never agreed with any of that anyway. I would look at it and go, oh, they're trying to tell us this, anyway, we could go on and on about this, but
what I'm trying to say is they put a lot of money in having you not question their genders at all. And that goes from wigs. They literally build women's suits around these guys, with the fashion designs and stuff. Because that's what you're really looking at. You're looking at fashions and wigs and makeup and nails and jewelry. It's all so distracting. And look at all of your celebrities that are successful. They all have trademarks and stuff. Like Dolly Parton has big boob. What would you ever look at on Dolly Parton that would make you think for a second that was a guy, right?
Yeah.
So it does mess up our perceptions of ourselves and of the world that we live in. So, but more importantly, it rushes in their New World Order agenda. And to them, this is another bastardization, just like the Baphomet. And it's beautiful. The nub is beautiful to them. They look up to that. And I also would like to suggest that possibly this has really been going on since Shakespeare days and Greek theater. And maybe it's always been this way.
I believe you're right. And we don't have records of that to access, but if you do your homework and you check out old scripts and old writings and old ancient texts and carvings and all sorts of stuff, it does allude to the fact that this has been indeed going on far longer than just the era of television. It didn't just start with television. Television is just a way, and I'm using TV as media as we know it today is just a way to deliver this message. It's been around for a long time, Linda.
Yeah, it's, I keep going back to this. I should could have had a VA kind of moments. And I've been smacking myself in the head a lot in the past 6 years. It seems like 6 years has just flown by, right?
I was having that conversation earlier today where I was like, wow, I was 6 years younger. 6 years later, I'm 6 years older. We all are. And this is just mind blowing that it doesn't even feel like 6 years has went by because the information comes out if you're, seeking it and you're looking at the correct information. So much is coming out. I'm just mind blown of how these people that have been ignoring this information are going to feel and react. Like, what do the